not yet ready.
He's magnificent, noble, not a numpty, notorious, kinky, sexual, wank, pheasant. Ross here.
WTF!
Hello, I'm Ross from Cultaholic.com and I miss me ladder. Here are all the WTF moments from last night's WWE Raw. What a disrespectful dick JoJo is. There he is, big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, all 6'8" of him, his scalp glistening like the seven seas on a lovely sunset, yet JoJo still forgets to introduce him. And worse still, when she eventually does, she gets in all kinds of Pete Tong. I tell you what, JoJo, any more of that and I'll be telling you to get out, leave right now. It's the end of you and me. Thank you very much to Mail in Cultaholic branded hoodie and or / t-shirt and his sign-wielding pal. Thank you very much for spreading the good name of Cultaholic throughout the WWE universe. Join them in joining us.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Roman Reigns believes he's the uncrowned WWE Universal Champion. Michael Cole screams at the top of his tiny little lungs. Rightfully so, Corey Graves replies, nope. As we all know, Roman Reigns lost fair and square at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and I will continue to bring up this point until we accept this is what happened and move on with our pathetic lives. What? We are wrestling fans after all. Next up we have Jonathan Coachman. In the moment he claimed that Roman Reigns and Bobbington Bobby Lashley have nothing in common. How man, Jonathan, look at the pair of them. I'm questioning whether they're actually brothers from the same mother. They're massive, they're sweaty, they're shredded, they're pushed when we don't really want them to be. They've got no crack, they've got none of the jokes, none of the funnies, none of the banter. They're essentially the same thing but in different cans. One of them's Sprite and the other one is the diet version of Sprite. Roman? Bobby Lashley was in the main event of WrestleMania 10 years ago. You're telling me that Bobby Lashley 10 years ago in the main event of WrestleMania was The Undertaker or Edge? Now of course, Roman, I know that you were referencing the Battle of the Billionaires from WrestleMania 23 in 2007, but that match, that wasn't the main event of that Mania either, so you could not have been more wrong here. I tell you what, chatting bollocks like that, I think someone needs to get Roman Reigns wellness policed once again, because I think he's on the big doobies. And sticking with Roman Reigns, we have the moment where he claimed he's on Raw each and every week, which isn't strictly true. Now, is it, large canine? Because as we all know, back in May, you famously missed an episode of WWE Raw, you massive hypocrite. So then, after announcing that a lovely multi-man match would be taking place at Extreme Rules last week on WWE Raw, Kurt Angle opened this week's WWE Raw by saying that match will no longer be happening. Here's something that could be amazing on paper. WWE said last week, why don't you take it home for a week, rub it on your balls like Vaporub for a week. WWE said, bring it back and then we'll jazz it up some more. But no, we got to this week and it's gone. 2 fingers up towards us. Now I know this match was a massive case of new era same old bollocks because we got the exact same stipulation at the exact same event 12 months ago, but WWE taking away like this, that's just mean. And the reason for the match being cancelled is because of a contractual snag with Brock Lesnar, who wasn't even in the match anyway. My brain does not compute. And then we got to the pièce de résistance of this promo, as the French would say, because we teased Roman Reigns swearing. Get this, boys and girls, he almost said the S word live on Raw. What a bad ass. Because of course the corporately built superstar, the face of WWE, is always going to swear live on national television. Of course he was. However, man, WWE, this hokey unnatural bollocks is one of the main reasons people can't stand this guy in the first place. Now I'm all about the promos he cut at the start of that segment, bigging up his resume and all that. More of that please, but just leave the bollocks out. So it turns out that Baron Corbin is the biggest constable on Monday Night Raw. Lady balls, I do apologise. Please don't castrate me. And of course, Baron Corbin proved he is the biggest constable on Monday Night Raw by booking the Revival versus Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley for a second week in a row, because last week we couldn't get enough of it, could we? Oh, Corbin, you dastardly diddler, you.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
So while that shot there was on screen, Corey Graves was talking about how Bobby Lashley didn't want to be out there on WWE Raw and didn't want to be at the aid of one Roman Reigns. I tell you what, Corey, that line of yours gave me AIDS, because Bobby Lashley couldn't look more concerned about Roman Reigns if he tried. And then, wouldn't you just note, the Revival pinned Roman Reigns? This is just like the Mexicans beating the Germans at the World Cup. This is just like a Boston Terrier beating a Great Dane, or other similar David versus Goliath references. It was really unexpected, all right? And now it's time for this. Wankety whack.
wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Hello and welcome to Wankety Wank, the section of WTF Moments where, just like on Blankety Blank, where they fill in the blanks of sexual wank, pheasant watches a WWE show and fills in my blanks by tweeting me with a WTF moment that I've missed from an episode of WWE programming. Thank you very much to Eric Bischoff, because when it comes to men's arses in wrestling, I only have eyes for Matt Striker's peachy bag of goodness. I missed what Eric Bischoff is saying just below here, so it could be wrong. He could just be making stuff up, but I don't care. I'm thinking of Matt Striker's arse now. I'm happy. Make a note of the time and the date. The B team versus the Weirdos is happening at Extreme Rules, and just in case they cancel a match like they did at Money in the Bank, cherish it. You never know, someday the match might not be there for no reason whatsoever. Maggle, 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 maggle. So Maggle Cole claims that the B team are undefeated since The Miz left for SmackDown Live. The Miz, of course, got drafted to SmackDown Live on the April 16th episode of WWE Raw during a Superstar Shakeup, but on May the 7th, which comes after April the 16th, the B team, before they were known as the B team, lost to the Weirdos, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Knowledge is power. Somebody spanked me, I thought they were dead. Spanked me twice, Daddy, because I thought that she was dead as well. When the Rousey's away, the Fox comes out to play, which is funny, of course, because we haven't seen Alicia Fox on WWE Raw since around the time when she got into an argument with Ronda Rousey's husband. Conspiracy. It's going to be you, Sasha, and Ember Moon against 3 members of the Riot Squad. Hang on a second, Kurt, there's more. Now I'm here to tell you that WWE definitely got the last name of Rich and Rex wrong on last night's episode of WWE Raw. They can't be Gibsons dressed like that. They're definitely Graysons, and Graysons who can fly, but not literally. Oh, Daddy, my arse is blistering. Please have mercy on my arse. When did Mickie James come back to life? Last night's episode of WWE Raw was a bastard miracle. Now, Alexa Bliss calling Ronda Rousey the baddest woman in the planet just feels all kinds of wrong, doesn't it? It's like when someone you know is wearing a shirt that they think fits them, but it doesn't, and their belly's always peeking out from below to say hello. We all know somebody like that. And also, somebody get her out of there, for Christ's sake, because she'd be burning alive. It's bloody hot, the Earth's core, you know. This isn't the movies Alexa Bliss says. This is real life, and in real life, I am the real hero. It's still real to me, damn it. Alexa, when the hell did you become such a filthy mark?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
This is unfair. Corey Graves says Alexa Bliss wasn't out here to compete as she's out there wearing her wrestling gear. What you doing then, pal? Are you telling me she doesn't own any clothes? Because I know for a fact that is absolute bollocks. I've been in a wardrobe. Again, for Christ's sake, how many times, Riot Squad? Why would you vandalise stuff when there's a camera filming you vandalising that stuff? Save yourself a bill. Do what all the good dastardly diddlers do, and do it when nobody's around, and leave a calling card that nobody can work out who you are. So Maggle Cole claims that it was Baron Corbin who reversed the decision a few weeks ago when Bayley interfered in a tag team match, and somehow, even though she wasn't in the match to begin with, she was allowed to win the thing. He didn't do that, Maggle. It was Kurt Angle. Do not give Baron Corbin credit he doesn't deserve, because he didn't deserve it. Because he's a diddler. I'm saying diddler far too much, aren't I? Oh God, Bayley, you cannot be saying the S word live on Raw. Sasha ain't worth sh**. Well, young lady, you go to the naughty step and think about what you've done. Maybe instead of suspending Bayley for a month, Kurt Angle will ground her because she's a child. And I quote as Kevin Owens talks about Braun Strowman: every time he looks at me, he does this weird thing with his tongue. It looks like he wants to eat me. 50 Shades of Kevin Owens. Hang on a second now, I can't remember who said this, but how on earth does Bayley and Sasha Banks falling out hinder the women's revolution? Surely, for the love of Christ, with a feud that fans are actually invested in, and with two of the best that WWE have kicking the piss out of each other, this is exactly what the women's revolution needs. And counselling? Where have I heard that one before, WWE? Get that bloody siren up there, Richard Tubman. Please, WWE, after months and months and months of flippy floppy bollocks, that Bayley beatdown was absolutely fantastic. Please hammer more of this into our eyes, and do not turn this angle into a joke. Oh, for f***'s sake, Mike. So let's set the scene here. Braun asks that concession worker if he's seen Kevin Owens. That concession replies, no, I don't know who Kevin Owens is. First of all, WWE, why would you have somebody on your own piss and show, for Christ's sake? Say they don't know who one of your biggest stars is. Good job, little league in yourselves, pals. And then, in an effort to describe what Kevin Owens looks like to that useless wank, Braun Strowman claims that Kevin Owens looks like a man who's got a bowling ball up his shirt. Way to be a star, you wonky-nosed bastard. Bollocks, I'm just as bad as he is. I am so pissing confused. First of all, we have Braun Strowman trying to murder Kevin Owens. Then we have Kevin Owens trying to be Braun Strowman's friend. Then we have Braun Strowman pretending to be Kevin Owens' friend before hunting down Kevin Owens as if he wants to murder him once again. And then Braun tips over Kevin Owens' car. And now I feel sorry for Kevin Owens, even though Kevin Owens is meant to be the heel of the piece. What's going going on, Braun? What do you want? And then Coachman, just after the card tipping happened, claimed that KO clearly brought this on himself. How? He won a match with Braun. He wanted to shake Braun's hand. Braun said no. Kevin ran away. And then that car flipping happened. And then on top of all that, the cherry on top of the cake here, which of course is relevant because Kevin Owens is a fat bastard. Braun actually called him a fat bastard and messaged the WWE, never ever, seemingly, want you to forget what on earth is going on. Dun 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 dun. So we're set for a main event of the evening. Seth Rollins comes out, Dolph Ziggler comes out, Drew McIntyre comes out. We go to commercial break. We say hello to Bruce Pritchard. Then we come back from that break and Seth Rollins' music is playing again. Did we time travel, Kevin? What's going on, pal? Get those gnashes back in your head, away from those buttons. Be a star. So while discussing the Seth Rollins buckle bomb, Jonathan Coachman says we know it's all about upper body strength, but we also know that the knee isn't 100%. Where on earth does he think the knee on a body is? Hang on a second now, I'm starting to think this WWE isn't real fighting. You're telling me that a Scotsman called Drew McIntyre can headbutt a Samoan called Roman Reigns, and that Scotsman can still come out on top? That's absolute bollocks. This is wrestling, where for some reason Samoans have really hard heads. Drew McIntyre should be in retirement right now. WWE, that's just too far for me now. And we end proceedings today with a lovely quote from Jonathan Coachman, who said, Dolph Ziggler, he always finds a way. Well, Coachman, how do you explain Dolph Ziggler not winning one match between Survivor Series 2014 and the arse end of 2017? And that's it for all of your WTF moments from last night's WWE Raw. Thank you very much for being a loyal sexual wank pheasant. I do love you long time. I've been Ross from Cultaholic.com. If you want to follow me on the Twitter machine, it's at Ross on Wrestling. If you want to pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you can afford to tickle our way will be greatly appreciated. But most importantly of all, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and join us on every form of social media going that we actually have.